So today I'm going to try to convince you that four of the chords in the diatonic minor scale are actually the same exact chord. And what I should really say is that they serve the same exact function. And the theory behind this is that they share a lot of notes with each other, so our ear kind of perceives them as doing the same thing. They resolve in a similar way. To kind of distill things into the real essence of borrowing from the minor scale, what you're really doing is, when you're borrowing these minor 4 chords, you are borrowing the flat 6 or sharp 5, however you want to look at it, from the minor scale. So we got our major scale, let's do D major. So when we want to make it have that nostalgic sound, you know, we're going to add the flat 6 interval, so that would be... So that is going to be a really important resolution here. The thing I notice in common with all of these borrowed minor subdominant chords is that they all resolve from the flat 6 in the minor chord, so here we got the... So you're resolving from, you know, that minor 3rd degree in the G chord to the perfect 5th in the D chord. And I would actually argue that that is one of the main 2 ways that you can resolve to the 1 chord. The other one being obviously the 5. So this is the one we're all familiar with. And that resolution, the strength of it really comes from this, the leading tone going back to the root of the 1 chord. So it's different kind of resolution. So your regular 5 chord resolution is going to be, but your borrowed minor subdominant resolution is this. Yeah, so that's the first point I wanted to make, because you're going to see this resolution in all 4 of these chords I'm about to show you. Let's start with the most straightforward one, I think, which is simply altering our G minor to a G minor 6. And already that's way more interesting than, I mean, we've all heard that in a million Beatles songs. So you can think of that, just kind of take a minor 7 and then just lower that flatted 7th degree to a major 6th degree. So yeah, minor 6s are really beautiful chords, and you'll be happy to know that an inversion of the minor 6 chord is the E minor 7 flat 5. So these are quite literally the same exact composition note-wise. They just have a different root note. I mean, the different, different bass note, I should say. So, we got this. And actually, what we can do, which is super easy, is just take this G note from the bottom and raise it up an octave. And you get your minor 7 flat 5 right here. Literally the same exact notes as the minor 6. So I like to actually do it a lot of the time just a step above your 1 chord. It's a really easy thing to remember. So you can do... and, make little lines around it, like... I don't know, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, so those are literally... I see them as the same exact chord, basically. My ear doesn't really hear them as different from each other. I guess when you have the bass note here, it does kind of feel like more of a minor chord, but I don't know. The more jazz I listen to, the more I just really kind of started hearing them as the same thing. Alright, so when we move from here, I'm going to show you the backdoor dominant is actually, it's actually just a minor subdominant. It shares a lot of notes with it. And I'm going to show you a chart at the end here with highlighter that shows, like, which notes are in common with each other. So you're going to see the connection in a nice visual way after this. Okay, so backdoor dominance, really simply put, we borrow it from the minor scale, the parallel minor scale. So if we're in D major, we're borrowing this backdoor dominant from D minor. So it's literally just as simple as doing a dominant 7 chord a full step below. Oh, I love that. And there's that flat 6. It's resolving down to that perfect 5th. So, yeah, I really love the backdoor dominant. I feel like it's just such a beautiful sound. And if you want to make it sound even cooler, you can make it a dominant 9 chord. So make this C9, and check this out. This just sounds beautiful. Oh, wait a minute. Now look at that. So if we do a full 9 chord, oh, our minor 7 flat 5 is right there. So really, this minor 7 flat 5, you can think of it as a voice crack. 26 years old and my voice is still cracking. You can think of it as a dominant 9 without a root. So yeah, all of those are basically the same exact chord. Now this one is going to be a little bit different, but basically the same concept. You can use the borrowed flat 6 chord, which is a major 7, from the minor scale. So what I'm doing here is basically, it's just going to be... And I would do a major 7 sharp 11 here. And the reason that works, there's a couple reasons. One, it shares notes with other things. You could look at it as being the relative major of the minor 4 chord, and that makes sense because the minor 7 here shares 3 notes with the major 7 up here. Interestingly, I think the exact same notes would be doing like a major 6 sharp 11. So what is that? I don't know. I don't feel like figuring that one out. But yeah. But interestingly, the strength of this interval, the flat 6, since this is the that kind of resolution, I would argue that you can pretty much play any chord you want here, as long as the flat 6 sound is so strong that you can pretty much play any chord. You can play a minor chord. I mean, actually no, I would stick between major chords and dominant chords here. But yeah, you can do like a dominant 7 flat 5. That kind of resolution, I think they use this as a minor subdominant in There Will Never Be Another You. It's like... Yeah, so you got that... Actually, that's a backdoor dominant, but you get the point. Interesting. Major 7 sharp 11. You could even do like a augmented, sharp 5. So really what I'm getting at is that the shared notes principle is really the key here in chord substitutions. I don't even know what the names of chords are sometimes. I have to look them up after. Like, I'll just be experimenting and be like, oh, that sounds good. Like, I'll start here, like, you know, just, I keep one note the same, but change my hand position. Yeah, so that's actually a great way to experiment with new sounds, is to write something with a weird chord progression, chords you don't know the name of, and then try to figure out what those chord names are afterwards by just, you know, using the intervals and using your brain. If you really are stumped, you can use one of those chord namers, but, you know, those often give you wild interpretations, of course. So, anyway, yeah, that's, I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, then there was one more thing. So the backdoor dominant, interestingly, you could think of the minor 4 chord. So it's kind of like a really roundabout resolution. It's like doing a temporary 2-5, because, you know, if you were to think of G minor to C9, that is a classic 2-5 to an F. So I guess you could call it deceptive, a deceptive cadence maybe. Yeah, I think that's it. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to show you a picture right now, just how I like to think of this. Here, check this out on the bottom. So, this is your parallel minor scale, and the chords I highlighted are going to be all of your family of minor subdominants. And I also just say the minor scale is it only has like 3 different chords. It's got these 4 minor subdominants which have notes in common with each other, and then the 1 chord in the minor is basically just the same as the you know, the major chord. That's a minor third above it. So those are only 2 types of chords, and then you have the 5 chord, which is borrowed from the major scale anyway. Well, you can always play a minor, you know, as the 5, but anyway, alright, now let me flip this over for you. And if you want to pause the video and look at this, and you can see what notes are in common here. Let me try to get it centered. Alright, so, here, let me take my hand away. Yeah, pause the video, take this chart down. What I would do maybe also is write it down yourself and highlight it, because that helped me see the differences, or I mean similarities, I should say. Yeah, and then just for kicks, I added that major 6 sharp 11 there, because it shares more notes with the minor subdominant. Yeah, so if you like this kind of content, I'm going to be making more music theory kind of stuff like this. Yeah, just like, subscribe, whatever. If you want to support me, check out my music on streaming. I have an album called Tread Lightly by Eric James. Also, keep your eyes peeled on streaming. I'm releasing an album really soon called No Skateboarding. It's kind of punk rock. Yeah, so until next time, peace out, be well, and play jazz.